What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Broadway Joel, the voice of Dominican boxing, and today we will be interviewing WBC interim champion Brian Mendoza. He will be fighting Tim Tszyu in Australia, uh, for the WBO belt. And from what I understand, the WBC interim belt can be unified, and the winner of this fight will be the WBO champion, WBC interim champion, and still maintain the mandatory position to Jamel Charlo, even though he's a champion in another sanctioned body. This is unprecedented, but this is boxing. And one thing I've learned from my interview with Mauricio Suleiman, as well as just my experience in boxing, is, boxing kind of makes up the rules as they go along. You get what I'm saying? Like, they just kind of like, I don't know. You get surprised. Things get flexible when they want to make fights, and when they find like fights are important. So, well, I got my man right here now.
Hey,
What's up, my man?
how you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy to have you back, man. I felt like our last interview, we had a lot of good chemistry. Sometimes I get guys on. Yeah, right. So sometimes I get guys on and they give me one word answers, or maybe we just don't vibe. Well, I felt like we vibe really well, and I'm really happy you're back, man.
Oh no, yeah, thank you, man. I thought the same thing, man. Easy to talk to and everything. Everything went pretty fluid, so that was cool, man.
Yeah. Man, I'm so excited for you. You came off two, again, underdog, not highlight reel kind of knockouts, and from what I was understanding, you there was a rematch clause. At least that's what Samson was saying, and that the rematch is that you guys are working it out, negotiating it. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, I guess, if that's the business, if he signed a rematch clause, that's just the way it is. And then out of nowhere, it's like, boom, all right, he's fighting Tim Tszyu in Australia for the WBO. I was like, oh, so walk me through that process. Was there a rematch clause? Was there a rematch being negotiated? What was the situation after the Fundora fight?
No, yeah. So there was a rematch clause in the contract, but just such a big opportunity presented itself. I let my team, Louis de Cuba Jr. and all them, take care of everything. And I said, man, this is for the full WBO. Now that they're going to be stripping Charlo from that, but this is for that full WBO. So it was just too big of an opportunity. So my team, made that happen. Took care of everything, and then now it's just on the just bigger things. Keep trying to move forward with the career.
So you negotiated out of the rematch clause, or was it they were like, you know what, you go do your thing? How did that work exactly?
Man, I couldn't even tell you all the details. I just know that my team got it done. I love that to them, man. Same thing as I've always done. Whether it's the rematch clause they're negotiating or this next fight. I let my team handle it, and I just stay in the gym, man. That's all I really focus on. I'm just locked in the gym, and then so I don't know too much of the outside of that.
Nah, I got you. I got you. One thing we left off in our last conversation was you better be making more than 200,000, right? I remember. I don't know if you remember. I was saying you getting these highlight reel knockouts. They need to up that money. I'm not gonna ask you how much, but am I gonna be happy for you with how much you're being compensated? You don't have to say a number. I understand it's private, but
yeah.
I'll be happy with how much you're being compensated.
I mean, yeah, man. I'm going all the way to Australia, man, across the world. They had to, come up a little bit.
I got you. I don't want to get too much in your pocket, but I was like, man, my man need to get paid. My man need to get 200-300, or more, because like I feel like a lot of times guys, they'll get a really big knockout, or they'll do something spectacular or win belts, and then it's just kind of like, yeah, but he doesn't sell, he's not marketable, he's not this, and they don't pay him what he deserves. And I understand it's a business, but to some degree you have to reward merits, and I think like you earned it. Like nobody can fucking tell me Mendoza didn't earn this shot. Like it's no way. Like we were getting to a shouting match if somebody said that. So
Yeah, man, that's the thing, and it's really just been betting on myself, you know, like even before that, you know, like the numbers came out and everything, but it's been betting on myself because if I price myself out, you know, and then I don't get that title shot, then where am I at? You know, I'm
For
sitting there, you
sure.
know, waiting for a call for, you know, maybe 20, 30, 40, 50,000 if I'm lucky.
Yeah, right.
So that's the thing, you know, like you know, you take those risks, and then even this one, you know, I have the interim WBC, but now this next one, you know, we had to take this shot and everything, and it's the full WBO, and then after that, you know, that's all bets are off, you know. So I'm just continuously betting on myself, man.
From what I understand, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. So when I interviewed Mauricio Sulaiman, I'm not sure if you watched it, but he told me that the WBC interim can be unified with the with another belt, and that there's
Mm-hmm.
precedent for that because Triple G did it.
Mm-hmm.
I read an article, and again, you could correct me if I'm wrong, that this will be a unification with you still maintaining your mandatory status for Jermel Charlo. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, you know, like so far, yeah, but that's something that they're actually still kind of working out and everything and kind of ironing out the details, I guess. So as of right now, yeah, you know, I still, you know, I have the WBC interim and everything, and then I know I like because I did see that clip of your the interview and everything, and I do know it gets kind of tricky once you're unifying the interim with the full, because we were supposed to kind of do a little interimification. I got that
Yeah.
little phrase from my strength coach Tony Brady. We were just working on that, you know, but now it's an interim with the full, and you know, so now they're kind of it got a little tricky. You know, I know they're ironing out the details, but I'll be
Okay.
finding out that out for sure within the next couple of weeks.
Do whether it'll be on the line or not, or I'm not sure what how you guys are gonna work that out. Will you still be bringing the belt? Would you still be introduced as the interim champion? Is that something you're negotiating? Is that something you want, or how does that work?
I mean that's you know that's part of it. That's like kind of all the little stuff. I hate to be so vague, you know, and I know we're
No,
trying
no.
to get like more answers out of it, but that's kind of just where it's at because like I said, it started off, you know, like pretty easy, you know, as the two interim champions, and then just trying to get those going, and then get like the true mandatory shot, you know, for Charlo and everything, coming
Yeah,
back down to 54 after that Canelo fight. But like you know, as of right now, those are like everything that has to do with like the interim and the full now. They're ironing all that stuff out. So
I
that's what we're
got you.
trying to figure out. Yeah.
Yeah, you just focusing on training right now. Obviously, you
Yeah.
somewhat paying attention to it, but mostly
Mhm.
focusing on training.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, this camp, you know, especially these last few ones, you know, we've been going all in. Even like, you know, for the Rosario fight, they called me in 10 days, but I was in like camp mode for like 7 months, you know,
Whoa.
just kind of just going at it, man. And then same thing with you know, the Fundora fight, I was just kind of going at it. So even getting these interviews and stuff started, everything, you know, I've been kind of had them on the back burner just because I'm so locked in, you know, I just because you know, I just know it's like, okay, this next one, you know, the Fundora fight changed my life. This one solidifies, you know, everything, you know, for the my kids, man, like
Oh,
everything, you know, just
sure.
from here on out. So that's why I just really lock in, man. So working on all that stuff.
Yeah, and you live full time in Vegas.
Yeah,
When did you move to Vegas full time?
it was actually August 15th, I believe. August 15th. It was 5 years.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. No, because I was just out in Vegas, and for the first time I was in Salah's gym. I remember I
Hmm.
texted you. I was hoping to see you
Yeah.
there, but and man, that gym is just full of champions and former champions and
Hmm.
Olympians and gold medalists. And I was just to me, I've been to quite a few gyms. I'm like that has to be the best gym in America, at least that I've been to. You know,
Yeah, honestly, man, and like I always say, I'm like a sponge around like all that knowledge, man, just soaking up all that knowledge constantly because like it trips me out sometimes, like you know, just the people I get to work with and stuff. Like I get to like Robesi Ramirez helps me out a lot,
mhm.
and you know, just little tweaks and stuff here and there on like technique and stuff like that. And then like someone I used to actually study a lot just off YouTube was Jorge Linares. And
Mhm.
now, like, even just today, I was hitting the bag alongside him. You know, I've hit the mitts alongside him. So, man, like, to your point, I freak out the same way, bro. Like, I have all this knowledge around me, and I'm constantly, you know, just in awe. Like, I really get to learn all this stuff, you know, firsthand now.
Yeah,
So it's crazy, man.
you mentioned Robesi Ramirez, which reminds me. When I saw your name was Brian Mendoza from New Mexico, I just assumed you were Mexican American. I didn't
Yeah.
even bother asking you last time we interviewed, but then we have a mutual friend, Cam. He told me you're a Cuban. How does a
Yeah.
Cuban end up in New Mexico? I need to know that story.
Man, it's a wild story, man. But yeah, and I know I don't even look like it too much. And then even my Spanish, I don't have a full Cuban accent or anything, so it throws people off. Like Mexicans will know I'm not Mexican, but you know I'm kind of all over the place with it. And no, it's just so my mom came to America when she was like about 9, and then I guess my great grandpa, he was kind of like the glue of the family, and then they sent him here. You know, they just said there was work and opportunities and stuff out in not here, sorry, New Mexico, and the whole family kind of just followed him. So that was on my mom's side, and then same thing for my dad. My dad actually swam from Guantanamo to the naval base, Guantanamo Bay. And then when he came over, they as soon as he touched down in Florida, and he's actually told me the same little story that he came. So a Cuban, you know, first time in the country, whatever. He's in Florida, and then they tell him, "All right, well, we have work for you, but just in New Mexico." And he's like, "Man, I came to America. I don't want to go to Mexico." So, so it was one, he went over and so both my parents are Cuban from Cuba, and they both met in New Mexico. So it was kind of like a weird little thing, but just crazy how life works out. So and then
that's crazy. Growing
yeah.
up, do you have any Cuban friends at all?
Sort of, but it's almost like a cousin, you know, and they were, ironically enough, they were boxers. So yeah, so I was friends with them, you know, and then that was kind of it. But outside of that, that's kind of why like my accent isn't as strong, because New Mexico is very heavy, like you know, Latino, like more Mexican, more like Chicano culture.
Yeah.
So I have a little mix with everything, you know, like I was trying to grow up not to get too heavy of a Chicano accent, and then mixing it with my Cuban, and just I'm all over the place with it.
You well, now that gym is full of Cuban. Salas obviously is Cuban. You got Yoelvis Gomez, you got Rubasi Ramirez, and a few other guys. Lara, he's still there, Lara?
Yeah.
Yes, you got Laura. And there's a few other guys that I don't know their names. Are you getting a little bit more in touch with your Cuban culture?
Oh yeah, that's actually one of the funny things. Growing up in New Mexico, actually, I listened to like way heavier, just more into rap, you know, hip hop kind of stuff. And ever since I came to Vegas, all I listen to is Spanish music, you know, whatever it is, whether reggaeton, like and all of them, you know, like Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, like I listen to everything.
Yeah.
So it's I'm definitely way more Latino than I used to be.
well, I'm more of a hip hop guy myself. Who are your favorite rappers, both growing up and now?
Oh man, it's not like I wasn't too heavy into like underground stuff or things like that, but I was like real heavy on like Big Sean, like Ti, and you know people like that.
I got you.
Yeah, just heavy on stuff like that. And then my biggest influences were people that motivated me, even to this day. Like uh, I was always kind of just in that mode. Like I always like wanted motivation for the gym, you know, to go train and this and that. So everything, like all like the dance music and the happy stuff, the like lover boy music that came on later in life. So anything that would motivate me, I was with it.
Cool. I getting back to boxing. Australia is a long way from Las Vegas, and totally different time zone. How long do you plan on going out there? Is who's gonna go with you? You know, and when is Salah's gonna get there? That you know, there's a few variables here. Can you let me know when you plan on going? Who's going with you and what time and all that? I know Salas has a lot of fighters.
Yeah. No, yeah. So everything's lining up perfectly anyway with that. But Salas will definitely be there. I know at least fight week, but he might be out there with me like the 2 weeks before. So I'm gonna be going 2 weeks before the fight. So I'll be in attendance for the Canelo Charlo fight, and then I think maybe that Monday or something I'm flying out, and then you know just to get acclimated and everything, and then just in training, you know, we have like our assistants and stuff, Carlos, and then they're all working with us, you know. So it's kind of setting all that together. My strength coach Tony Brady will be out there with me, and then you know we're putting the whole team together. So it's all coming along.
Good. All right. So I don't need to tell you, you're an underdog in this fight. I learned my lesson. I'm not picking against you. I'm not. You done burned me twice. I'm somebody that learn. I usually learn off the first lesson, but you needed to teach me twice. So I'm picking Brian Mendoza. But
there we go.
Yes, yeah. Listen, it's on camera. I'm picking Brian Mendoza to beat Tim Tszyu. Y'all can clip this if y'all want and whatever. Yes, that's where I'm going. Obviously you're the underdog again. Is this kind of like where you feel comfortable? Kind of like, hey man, I got to earn it the hard way, and I got to be the underdog and go to his country. Talk to me about that underdog mentality that you've had to have,
Yeah.
since your losses, really.
Yeah, I'm thriving it honestly. At first, yeah, it's, like all right, like the Rosario fight, like I said, they called me in 10 days, so it's like all right, let's switch, let's go. This is the moment we've been waiting for. But now, then with the Fundora fight, it's like I'm starting to like this actually, and honestly, like you see the challenges I'm taking, so I'm gonna be the underdog for a while. I think even after this one, the fights I'm trying to get, even after this, I'm gonna stay the underdog, but I'm actually learning to thrive because man, those victories, there's nothing sweeter than that, man, pulling off these big upsets and everything. So I'm enjoying it, man. It feels good. And then like I'm already envisioning, like a huge stadium full of people out there in Australia, just going from boo to oh, and then just cheering for me at the end. Like, I'm gonna try to steal every single fan out there. But I just enjoy it, man. It's a huge payoff, and then it just feels good, man. Like you're kind of an example, like that, like Rosalio's gonna take him out, and then Fundora, I don't know about this one, and then just I like that, like just the whole turning non-believers into believers thing, and it's a huge motivating factor, and then I mean, like, what pressures are on me? I'm supposed to go get beat up again, so I'm going all in on the gym, and just ready to do the exact opposite. But there's no pressure, and I just get to go in there and be me.
Yeah, I'm mad at myself that I picked Fundora. I'm mad at myself because the Rosario one. Listen, I just didn't see it coming because you're a smaller guy. You fought at welterweight. I know Rosario's a big guy. Like he was squeezing down to 54, and even at 60, that guy is huge.
Yeah.
He's a big puncher as well. I just figured he would beat you. I was wrong. I was okay with getting that one wrong. I was not okay because I was on the fence with Fundora because I liked what he showed in the Rosario fight. And then I was kind of like, I don't know. This guy just throws a lot of punches. Rosario was on the back of in his career. He just retired. And I kind of talked myself out of it. So I'm a little annoyed at myself. Luckily, I didn't bet. Either time I did not bet. So at least I didn't. I'll bet this one.
Yeah, we got you. I got you, man. Money's safe here.
Nah, for sure. I have no doubt about it. Have you thought, listen, and I maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but have you thought about potentially being fighter of the year? You caught a sensational highlight reel knockout in an underdog situation in California, his home state, in Fundora. Now you're going to Australia for a belt, possibly two. We discussed that already. We don't know if it's one or two. Underdog again. You fuck around, knock this dude out. Yo, you on my list. You on my list of being fighter of the year. Have that crossed your mind?
Yeah, a little bit, but like I said, like I think one of the things that helps me a lot is I'm really good at staying focused on just the job at hand. Like with Rosario, just go in there against all odds, and like you said, you were kind of right to pick Rosario. Like there was no signs that I would have pulled off. Like people didn't know the work I was putting in the gym. It wasn't out there, and even with the Fundora, like it was an ugly style matchup. I couldn't fight my fight. Like you saw I was kind of slick and stuff with Rosario, but with Fundora, like, it's just kind of go in there, fight the specific way you got to fight, and break them down and set up the shot I wanted to land. But so not, man, but it still has crossed my mind though. And then that's like something that I'll leave to the people to decide. But I'm just grinding, man. I'm grinding. Like I put my heart and soul into every training camp every single day. And then that's just, if that's one of the rewards that comes out of it, then it is what it is.
Well, you did put your name in for knockout of the year. That's already on, because that was nasty. You probably didn't see it so much. Well, you saw the replay, so but I'm saying like in the moment, I don't know if you saw just how nasty it looked, because he was kind of knocked out standing up, and then you landed two vicious shots, and he's so tall, head bounces off the ground. And he tries to get up, and his legs are like paralyzed, and it was really, really nasty. So if you could get knockout and fighter of the year, that would be dope, man. I don't know anybody who's done that.
Yeah, like I said, everything, the way everything's playing out, it could happen, and I'm expecting to put on a big performance in Australia, man. So we'll see how it all ties together, but yeah, like I said, it's just the work paying off.
Have you studied Tim Zoo? You already have your game plan. You already know what to expect. What once you step in the ring with him, you don't gotta
Mhm.
don't say nothing. But I'm just saying, have you
Yeah.
studied?
Oh yeah, of course. Outside of everything, I'm a big fan of boxing in general. So
Mhm.
I always watch fighters, and actually, this little comeback journey started on the Tim Stu versus Gaucher undercard. That's the swing belt card that I was on.
Ah,
So Tim Stu fought Gaucher. I was actually upstairs on that little balcony watching the fight, and then I had to go in after, they were taking all the lights down, all that stuff. That story that was for the Gaucher Su fight.
wow.
So yeah, so I've seen him live, I've seen him on TV, and I'm always studying and always looking. And then like you said, the great work I have around me in the gym, just getting tons of great work and
Mhm.
different looks and everything. And we know what we got to do.
You sparred Adames? Yeah, I know Adames just got
Hmm.
over there. I know he's orthodox like Tim Zoo,
Hmm.
similar weight. Any chance you got any sparring work with him?
Not yet. He actually just got back to the gym and everything, but he's I've sparred him before though,
No,
like before,
I know that.
like
I
the
know
whole
that.
split with, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So not for this camp, not yet, but we've definitely been getting a lot of great different looks with some good names and everything, but it's everything's time together.
Who have you sparred? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, I mean, like, for one, I'm getting a lot of great work with Caleb Plant, your Dennis Ugas. There's this dude from another country. I can't pronounce his name too well, so I don't want to butcher that. Um, yeah, but just tons of different looks, and then just people that can emulate his style very well. And then we're even trying to line up, someone else to bring in for the last few weeks of camp here before we head out. And then so yeah, just a lot of different stuff. I'm looking at speed, power, timing, that front hand look that Tim Stu does a lot. The mid range is just every little of everything. We're ready for any kind of style he comes with on fight night.
Are you looking for a knockout? I mean, one, you coming off two sensational knockouts, and two, it's in a foreign country, and we know how
Hmm.
things get when you go to a foreign country. Are you looking for a knockout, or do you feel like you need a knockout?
I don't look for decisions if that if that's a good
Ah,
answer.
I got you. I got you.
Nah, man. Whenever I'm in there, I have power and I'm able to let go of it. Just naturally. I let it flow. Like I am more of a guy that thinks, if the knockout comes, it comes. But when I'm in there, I'm gonna just put punishment on you, and however long you want that to last, is kind of on you. But I'm in there to hurt people when I'm in there. There's never no, okay, I'm a box and move and try to get this decision. I never do that. So that's why I always say, like, you can expect fireworks, and I don't mean that in that cliche, like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a great fight. Like, I'm bringing fireworks, that's for sure.
Okay. I mean, he's an offensive fighter himself.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, the way the styles match up, I kind of don't see a decision coming this way.
either way, you saying.
Right.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. Like the way our styles line up, like I just don't see a decision happening. So I definitely see this ending before the 12th round.
Okay. All right. What do you think is the biggest difference between you guys? Like what are your advantages over him?
I just feel like, there's certain adjustments that I can make, and certain holes in his game, little flaws here and there. And I know he says the same thing. I've seen a couple of interviews where he's kind of blowing me out. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's real basic, this and that." But that's what a lot of my opponents have thought. And I keep proving time in and time out that um, I'm not just a power puncher. I repeat that over and over. I kept saying that from Dora fight because they kept saying that I hit hard, and that's cool and all this and that. But I keep repeating, I'm not just a power puncher. Like I set these shots up. I take my time, I find them, and then yeah, I just make it happen, and that's the reason these knockouts are happening. I'm not just swinging for the fences.
No, no, for sure, for sure. You got me thinking now. You got you saying that this may be a fire fight because of the styles. We are we already mentioned you're in the running for a knockout of the year. If with a win, fighter of the year. Now I'm thinking the way you talk about this fight, you also may get fight of the year. If it's an explosive back and forth fight, you know what I'm saying, and
Mhm.
I'm sure it's something the fans will love. And has that crossed your mind?
So I'm not a guy that tries to skate away with like a decision and all this and that, but I think I did show, especially even in like the Rosario fight, with his power and everything. Like I'm slick enough to not make it a fight of the year. I'd rather be in a one-sided fight. Like I'm looking for the knockouts and stuff. If I'm looking for big shots and everything, but I'm also, that's kind of like one of the main things we work at with Salas is that we're attacking, but at the same time we're slipping and moving and everything. And I want to get my shots off. And I'm not letting you take your turn.
I got you. Yeah, no, it's exciting. I really, again, I'm picking you to win. I think I've seen enough difference of when you were coming up and in your last two fights, and there's also like a confidence that you have, and it's not fake. I usually, I do a lot of interviews. I usually can tell with some guys like, yeah, I'm gonna knock him out and this, and I'm like, yeah, that guy doesn't believe a word he's saying. I get this sense of confidence. Is that new, or you've always been like that?
I've always had it, but it's definitely grown a lot because I've always had, like I think Brian Custer called it like a calm confidence or a quiet confidence.
Yeah.
And that's always been me, but it's definitely grown a lot, because so I started boxing late at like 16, and then I only had like I didn't even have like 30 amateur fights. I had like 27 amateur fights or something. So I've been getting my experience and everything, but now I just feel like I have the experience. Like I've gotten like probably hundreds of rounds in with guys like Erisandi Lara and like the other guys I've named, just elite level work. And when I'm in there, like I don't feel, if you hit me hard, I'm like, okay, I've been hit before. Like if you're fast, okay, I've timed guys like that before. I'm at the point where like the confidence meets the experience. So that's why you're not getting, oh, I'm gonna knock him out, I'm gonna do this and that. Like I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm capable of. And I think that's the confidence people see. And it's just what it is. I just believe in myself. And a big part of the confidence too is working with Tony Brady, because now the way that I've always wanted to work, he pushes me past those limits. Like every limit I thought I had, he broke every single one of them. And that's why you're seeing like now I can throw these bombs and I'm not getting tired, because we work day in and day out. And the confidence, I've always said since the amateurs, I've always said that my confidence comes from my work ethic. And man, the work we're putting in, I not just Tim Tszyu, I don't think anybody's working that hard. So as long as I keep pushing myself, what reason do I have to doubt myself?
Is this the hardest you ever worked for a training camp, or is this like equivalent to what you were doing for the Fundora and Rosario fights?
Equivalent and not, because I just my gas tank is bigger, so we push a little harder. So yeah, I'm training harder, but back then that was my hardest, and then for the Fundora fight it was my hardest. So like I can hit a little more weights, I can run a little faster, a little longer, like I can jump a little higher, like everything. So we keep pushing the limits. So like, okay, for the Fundora fight, okay, this is how far we got, but I'm actually gonna post a picture pretty soon. Like, man, I've been shredded since like before the fight was even offered to me. I stay in shape, and the whole year-round thing. There's no off season for me, so we kept working. I've been in camp since I got back in the gym, I think like 3 weeks after the Fundora fight, and then I've just been working and chipping away at it. So I started this fight in better shape than I was for the Fundora fight. So yeah, I'm working harder, but because I keep pushing those limits.
Man, if you getting stronger and faster, and I can only imagine how much better you're gonna look, because again, you look sensational in that Rosario fight from start to finish. The Fundora fight, the guy gave you some trouble. Obviously, he was winning the fight, no disrespect, but
yeah,
you stayed patient, stayed calm, and landed a beautiful overhand left, kind of like a loopy left hook, kind of. We spoke about it in our last interview where it was kind of like that Sergio Martinez did to Paul Williams, and landed it. And if you're getting stronger and faster from then, I could only imagine it. And I'm excited for this performance, and I'm excited for this fight, man. It really is because you're in a tough division. So hey, back-to-back tough, 3 back-to-back tough fights, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, you're not ducking no smoke. Whether I gotta go to your house or we gotta do a neutral grounds, I'm with it. I like that. I like that a lot, honestly.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. That's actually a really big compliment. And I've always I'm trying to prove that, because I always said, I'm not worried about that. Like I used to get kind of irritated when people tell me, man, you're in a stacked division, you know that, right? Like I don't want an easy road to the top, man. If I fought nobody for some vacant belt, then okay, cool. You want a vacant belt against whoever? Like there's no glory in that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grinding it out the hard way. I had to take the last minute opportunity. This impossible 8-1 underdog opportunity, and then now this one in a hometown literally on the other side of the planet. So I like it, man. It's like that warrior stuff, that real world champion stuff. You got to travel the world to get that work, and it's just crazy, man. But I've never been a talker. I think that's also why people see that like quiet confidence type of thing, because I'm not a talker. Um, I can communicate. I can't speak, but I'm not like a shit talker. I'm not going to talk smack and all that stuff. So I just like to prove it, man. My performances are proven, and my work ethic is getting me there. So it's just going to keep getting better. So I'm really excited for this next fight.
This will be the last question, and then I want to open up the phone lines for the fans to come in and ask their question. Have you been treated differently since your last two performances? And I'll explain why. I've seen both from media and fighters. They'll be best friends with a guy when he's undefeated. He'll take a loss, and all of a sudden it's kind of like, all right, buddy. Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. Brian Mendoza, he's a cool guy, but kind of like not what we used to be. And then a guy will get a big win, and then it's like, hey, Brian, come give me a hug. We're best friends. Have you had that experience?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen it all, and that's what I'm talking about. Like the experience I gained in and out of the ring. It teaches me life lessons. It teaches me stuff to become a better fighter. Like I'm experiencing everything, man. Like I really live this. Like it's always kind of like corny, like cliche in a way, because like say someone will bring up an example of some kind of life lesson. I'm like, oh yeah, in boxing I learned that when this and this happened. Like it's boxing really just taught me so much about life because I'm so ingrained in this, day in and day out. That's all I think about. Like, actually, I did an interview in Australia after that press conference with over Zoom, and they laughed because I said I don't sing in the shower, I shadow box, and that it's like just how obsessed how obsessed I am with it. So it's and I think that's just what everybody's seeing. But yeah, so the treatment, man. I've been at the point where people, oh, what's up, blowing me off, and now they want pictures.
Yeah,
So I've seen it all, but I'm definitely not bitter or anything about it. It is what it is. It's kind of how the game works.
yeah. No.
So I'm just boxing is very, what have you done for me lately, and I'm just trying to keep that train going.
No, for sure. One of the things you said, you was like how a lot of times you'll say a lesson you learn is in boxing and all this. And I've always said like the reason boxing is my favorite sport is because it is the true microcosm of life. Like it is, we're gonna know exactly who you are in that ring. When things get tough, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna quit? It's kind of like how it is in life. You know,
Yeah.
and are you prepared for life? Are you prepared? Because some people they may have the talent, they may know everything, but they come in out of shape, or they didn't come with a game plan. Talk about I'm gonna just adjust in there and stuff like that. So that's why it's more that like I look at every fight kind of like a story of all right, this is where this guy's from, this is his story, this is where this guy's from, this is his story. Let's see how that story unfolds here. All right, the first round it played out like this, and boom, 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 boom. All right, in the end, the underdog won, and he got the glory, and this and that, and that's why it's such a beautiful sport when the politics don't get involved. When it's just boxing,
Right.
It's to me, in my opinion, it's the best sport out there.
No, yeah, I completely agree. I really think the same thing, and that's actually why. Like, if you look at like the end of each round in the Fundora fight, I never panicked because I always knew like what we came to do, what the game plan was. I knew it would be an ugly fight in the first half and everything, just stylistically,
Yeah.
and like we just knew. So like it was always like, okay, stay calm. Like things are hard right now, but stay calm because it's gonna work out in the end. That's exactly what happened.
All right, for sure. I want to give a chance for the fans to call in and ask questions. That's cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If you guys want to call in, ask a question of Brian Mendoza, you're more than welcome to. Please make it quick. Understand there's other people that may want to come in, ask a question, and all that. So again, the link is in the chat. Feel free to click, and my man right here, he'll answer the question for you. Are you a little nervous about traveling to Australia, or is it more exciting?
No, it's exciting. Like one of my dreams since I started boxing was like to, like I said, be a real world champion. Like, you go across the world to win titles. You go across the world to defend titles. You know, all that stuff. So it's literally a dream come true. So man, what's there to be nervous about?
Oh, that no, the way you put it, that is true. That is true. It's exciting for stuff. Claudio Marrero, your stablemate, he may be
Yeah.
fighting on that card, right?
Yeah, he actually mentioned, a possibility. I think they're trying to line that up, but that'll be dope, man. He's actually another one. I'm always talking about him. He's got so much, rhythm, and he's real slick with it. So,
Yeah.
I definitely picked up a few things from him too.
Yeah, he wants me to go so bad. He's like, if he gets to fight, he's like, bro, you gotta come. I'll put you on the team and this and that. I'm like, all right, let's see if you get the fight before anything. It would be dope because then
Yeah,
then I could cover your fight as well. And
yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, if it's possible, man, I say why not? It's a good reason to go to Australia if ever.
yeah, I've never been, and this would be a good excuse to go.
Right.
You know, guys, the link is in the chat. If you guys don't want to call in and ask a question, I'll let him go. He's in training camp. He probably just came home from the gym. He wants to rest. He's being gracious with his time. So if nobody wants to ask a question, I'll just end the interview. So I'm gonna give it 2 minutes. If nobody calls in, your time is up. I don't want to hear nothing. No, because some people.
No,
I
I'm
was.
good, man.
You don't know how many times I end the interview and then I'll get a
Mhm.
DM. Oh, I was just gonna hop in. I'm like, bro, like, like you gotta understand. It's not just my time. It's the fighter's time too. Especially you. You're in training camp. You
Right.
want to go
No,
eat,
yeah,
want to
just
go rest, watch tape,
yeah.
whatever. I don't know what you want
Mhm.
to do. You're in training camp. I'm definitely very
Yeah.
respectful of your time. So we'll give
No,
it
definitely,
another
man. I
minute.
appreciate that. So
Yeah, we'll give it another minute or so. Nobody wants to call in. We'll end the show and we'll go about that.
yeah, all good.
Yeah, yo, bro, I was there like a couple weeks ago, Las Vegas.
Hmm.
Man, I don't know how you live there. That heat, woo!
Yeah. Hey, man, we make weight pretty easily out here.
I could imagine. When I went, the first day was 118, the second day was 120, and the third day
Hmm.
was 110. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa,
And you
like
just missed it too, because I think right after you left when all that flooding and everything started, but it was really cool. It was like a perfect little window for a few days. So nah,
yeah,
it's hard, man. But like I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it's the
yeah,
same thing. It's like 10 degrees cooler maybe over there at any
mhm.
given time. So it's real similar. So I kind of grew up with it, and then I got used to dry nose, dry everything, and just always feeling dried out, just dealing with that dryness, that all
Yeah.
that dry heat. But yeah, I always say like Vegas is exactly like Albuquerque, but with the strip. Like Albuquerque just doesn't have the strip.
I got you.
So that's why I had to come out here, for the opportunities and everything, and that's why to see how everything's playing out.
Yeah, no, yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you a quick funny story, and then we'll end the live. I guess nobody wants to call in.
Hmm.
I went to Vegas last year in July. The boxing voice,
Yeah,
Ness.
of course.
Yeah, so they invited me. They were like, "Yo, come over. Like, we'll have you in studio. This, that, and the third." So I was like, "All right, cool." So I was trying to do something cool. I was like, I want to stand out. I wore a suit. I was looking fresh. Had my hair slick.
Yeah.
Bro, I was wearing a suit. I was melting, man. I was like, because I figured I was like,
Hmm.
oh, I'm just gonna go from the Uber to the studio, then from the studio to an Uber, and
Yeah.
that's how my mom went, and then it just did not play out that way. And then afterwards, Hector Garcia hits me up, yo, you in Vegas? Yo, come meet me at the gym and this that. So now I'm in the
Hmm.
gym, in the hot ass
In
gym,
a suit.
in a suit. I took off the blazer. I got the tie
Yeah.
loose and everything. I'm like, man, I'm like that was like one of those learning
Hmm.
moments. I didn't know it gets that hot out there. I know it gets
Oh
hot.
no, yeah.
120?
Yeah, no, the reality will smack you in the face because it's even different. Even if you would have seen it, say, oh, like 120, like, oh, I'm being silent. Like, it might not scare you as much until you feel it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's one of those things you got to live through first.
No, for sure. I lived through it. I lived through it. I want to
Yeah.
move out there though, because of the, because what
Hmm.
I do, make connections, go to gyms and stuff like that. I want
Big
to move out
time.
there. It's just getting stuff together with the family. That's why I haven't made the move. I live here in New
It's
York,
very
but
difficult. Yeah.
Every
That's
now and
actually
then,
what helped me, man. My family came out here with me, my parents and my brother. Like,
that's dope.
yeah, because it was just a small little window. Salas was actually training Linares and David Hay out in the UK, and then he came back for a tiny little window to train Ugas for a fight. And I told my dad, I was like, "Yo, let's go check it out, go meet him, see if I can, like, if he likes me, to work and stuff, is try to like to get in with it." And I told my family, I was like, "Yo, as soon as I tried it and everything went just like I thought it would, everything went great. I was like, I'm leaving. I gotta go like immediately. But there's like, okay, when are we leaving? So that's been a huge help, man.
That's
Definitely
dope.
thankful to
That's
them for
dope.
that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
When I was in his gym, and I always knew he was a good trainer, but I was like,
Hmm.
man, this dude knows boxing. He's like a scientist. I
Yeah.
saw him teaching, corkscrew punches and angles
Hmm.
and footwork and specific slips and stuff like that. He was being very, very detailed and organized with him. And he has a bunch of fighters. He'll do with one guy a combo here, then a combo here, and then you guys switching
Hmm.
and all this. And then I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, like it was something like I never seen before.
Hmm.
How is it working with Salas? Like, how much
Oh,
have you learned from training with him?
oh man. One day I'm gonna have to go in the vault and show you the video of the day one mitts with him. You're gonna freak out, man. You're gonna be like, who the hell is that? Man, it's crazy. Just tense with everything, locked up. I wasn't flowing like nothing, man. I was that back then. I was like pure power. I was just trying to like really just hurt everybody. So just
Yeah,
super flex with everything. But man, working with Salas is like he could literally be working with like what you said. Working mitts with a couple people like in the other ring on the other side, and then you'll just be in front of the mirror, kind of shadow boxing, and you'll just hear him yell at you all of a sudden, "Yo, tuck your elbow in. You're not putting your shoulder back. You're not." So it's like at all times, he's got that eye like just always back and forth. So it's crazy, man. But that's what I said. When I was in Albuquerque, I kind of hit a plateau. I was 16-0 with like I think 11 knockouts. Nobody knew my name. Nobody knew who I was. I was fighting in holes on the walls in like Wisconsin, West Virginia, stuff like that.
yeah.
And I just knew, I was like, man, I think there's another level, and I found it, man. It's definitely paid off, man. Every little
Sure.
detail, just broke everything down and built the foundation all over again.
Yeah, what makes it more impressive is that Salah stays balanced in those big ass shoes.
Oh, bro, I don't know how he does it. Actually, he might have been using when you were here because Joe Joyce was in camp, but I don't know if you saw the Cuban ones, the red ones.
I know.
Uh,
They were white, red, and blue. The ones I saw.
white. Actually, I think that's them. They're Cuban style red bottoms, and
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
they
see
were
the
a gift from some
bottom.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are red bottoms, and they extended them for him. So he's training in red bottoms. Those are the higher ones he uses for heavyweights and stuff. So yeah, when Joe
Yeah.
Joyce is here, he pulls those out.
And I saw him with it. I was like, "What the hell?" I don't even know where he gets those from. I never seen that in the store. So,
Oh yeah, like those ones I think were a gift, but yeah, he definitely gets those custom made for sure.
but yo, Brian, I've taken enough of
Actually,
your time, my brother. Yo, thank you so much again. I don't know if you feel the love. I don't know if you feel the support from other YouTube
absolutely.
channels or other journalists, but just know here on Broadway Joel's channel, me and my community support you. We're rooting for you. And again, I said it. It's on camera. I am picking Brian Mendoza to
Yes,
beat
sir. Let's
Tim Tszyu
go.
by knockout. I'm picking knockout. I'm not going decision. I'm picking KO. I'm picking
Let's
Brian
go.
Mendoza, and I'm openly rooting for you, my brother. Good luck out there. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Continue the great work. You know, and this platform is always open for you. Win, lose, or draw. You can come on my platform, explain anything or talk about anything. You want to do a victory lap after you come back with your win and have your belts. More than welcome to, my brother. Thank you so much, my man.
No, thank you, man. And I definitely do feel the love, bro. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate, give me a little spotlight, on the Dominican side as well, man. I appreciate you guys.
Nah,
Got a
for
lot of
sure,
love for you.
yo, and my fan base, they fuck with you too. Like
Yes,
I'm
sir.
reading the comments, they fuck with you. So it's not
Oh
just
yeah, man.
me. It's me and my core base. We like you
Yeah.
and we're supporting you and of course we're gonna be rooting for you, man.
No, I appreciate that, man. Big time, for real.
All right, my
Thank you,
man. Have
man.
a good one. And you want to announce anything? Social media, websites, anything?
I mean, yeah, I mean, so far, my main one's Instagram, but I'm on everything from Facebook to trying to get on TikTok. I'm not too into that one, but at La Bala Mendoza on Instagram, on my platforms and everything, just follow along. And I'm actually going to start this week, posting more behind the scenes stuff, a little training info, footage and stuff. So just follow along, man. We got some noise to make this year.
There you go. Go follow him.
The job's not done. Job's not done.
There you go, guys. Go follow him on all those social media sites he just mentioned. Follow me on Instagram, Broadway Joel, on Twitter @_Broadway Joel. And if you want a Dominican boxing shirt, go to BroadwayJoel.com. Go buy yourself one. And until next time, guys, peace.
Yeah.
All right.